Our guest speakers today, architect Syeda Hafsa and Syeda Warris Hussain, who graduated from NED University, Department of Architecture in 2018. Soon after, in 2019, the duo founded Archlore, an eco-friendly architectural setup that works to promote bamboo as an alternative construction material in Pakistan. Archlore has been working on commercial, residential, as well as philanthropic projects to explore the potential of bamboo in meeting SDGs while showcasing the versatility of the material in both urban and rural contexts. As part of their mission to battle climate change, Archlore routinely conducts bamboo workshops in educational institutions to spread awareness and to familiarize young individuals with modern-day bamboo construction. The architects were inspired by their travels within Pakistan and their interaction with resilient communities bearing the impacts of climate change. Both architects firmly believe in the power of architecture as a tool to drive social change and help the masses. Archlore were also nominated for an Aga Khan Award in 2022. Please welcome Archlore.
This is Syeda Hafsa Fatima.
This is Syed Warris Hussain.
Not Syeda. Somebody announced it wrong. Anyway, thank you for having us here. We are both architects, as you already know. We're graduates of NED University, Department of Architecture and Planning. And currently, we are both running an eco-friendly architectural startup by the name of Archlore. We focus on sustainable architectural practices and we focus on bamboo as an alternative material of construction. We are here today to share with you our architectural journey, the kind of work we do and why we do it. At the end of this presentation, hopefully we'll be able to shatter the stereotypical mindset that we have associated with bamboo in our society and as a society. बांस है तो टूट जाएगा, गिर जाएगा, इससे कैसे बनेगा, ठीक है? So that's the purpose of this presentation and hopefully we'll be able to achieve that.
We are not only promoting this material in the rural context, but also in the urban context.
Yeah, that's important. So on the note of why we do this particular work and why bamboo, let's start resilient architecture, imagineering the future with bamboo. Yes. Okay. So I guess to the students here, do you know about climate change? Are you aware of what climate change is? Yes? I'm sorry, I can't. Yes or no? Yes. Can someone tell me what climate change is? Do you wanna? Anyone? Come on. No. Okay. Anyway. This. Okay. No, I don't mean to scare you. Basically, climate change is the. Can you. Guys, can you please change the slide? So weather, climate, or water hazard occurred every day on average over the past 50 years, killing 115 people and causing US dollars 202 million in losses daily. This is data from the World Meteorological Organization, just to let you know about the impact of climate change. Okay? This is by the way, this is an average change in the Earth's overall temperature and an increase in the Earth's overall temperature. Yes, please. So Pakistan basically is responsible for 0.9% of the total global greenhouse gas emissions. 0.9% is nothing, and yet we rank 8th among countries vulnerable to climate change. So whether we like it or not, whether we're responsible for it or not, it is coming and we need to be prepared. The floods of 2022 A lot of students before me talked about it as well. I guess a thesis was based on it as well. So it caused more than 1,700 deaths, displaced 8 million people, and caused damages worth 30 billion to crops, infrastructure, and livestock. And this isn't some made-up statistic. This is coming from the World Bank. So basically, अब ये तो decide हो गया कि climate change problem है. What do we do to tackle it? What is the first thing that comes to your mind as a defense mechanism to battle climate change, or to perhaps regulate the microclimate of your country, right? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Forests, trees, is that right? So the UN basically says that a country must have at least 25% of its total area covered with forests. Is that right? So basically in 1947, when we gained independence, you remember? Don't remember? I mean, you remember it reading it in the history books. So at that time, the total forest area was, can you make a guess?
Let's have a guess.
Yeah. How much forest area in terms of percentage?
Guess in percentages. A country should have 25% at least.
So how much did we have? 70%?
70%.
Okay, okay, let's see. So in 1947, we had about 33%, which is good. It's above that 25% mark. Let's come to 2022. This is the stat that I will show you in a couple of seconds. It's taken from the World Forestry, the Pakistani Forestry Department, right? So how much forest area do you think we have left? 5%. So optimistic, Ms. Rabela. Okay, let's see. 2.2%, right? And this, by the way, is debated. The Forestry Department says it's 2.2%, but there are reports that it's actually 1.9%. So we have a bright future. Okay? Next, please. So now we've established that basic mechanism, defense mechanism, तो है नहीं है हमारे पास, सही है? The problem can be divided into 3 major points. क्या? Environmental crisis due to deforestation and carbon emissions, right? जो impact है वो तो है ही, लेकिन हम और अपने ऊपर मज़ीद मसाइल create कर रहे हैं. Inflation and economic crisis, ठीक है? Affordability is always an issue. Poverty में हमारा number क्या है? We're aware. And then lack of alternative approaches. प्रॉब्लम की निशानदेही सब कर देते हैं, लेकिन करें क्या फिर, ये कोई नहीं बताता, ठीक है? एंड दैट इज़ द क्वेश्चन, एंड दैट इज़ व्हाट वी आर वर्किंग ऑन, एन अल्टरनेटिव अप्रोच. सो द सोल्यूशन, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, is known as the poor man's timber. Bamboo is one of the greenest materials known to man today and one of our best hopes to fight climate change. Now ये जो word है ना, ये term poor man's timber, हमने यही पकड़ लिया. But Archlore works to show you that bamboo is so much more than just poor man's timber. Next, please. Bamboo sudai, which is the scientific name of bamboo, जिसे आम ज़बान में कहते हैं हम बांस. Next, please.
So now let's have a look of the anatomy of the bamboo. As we all know, bamboo is not solid like other oak. It's divided into internodes and nodes. Internodes are the parts where bamboo is hollow. It is where the flexibility of the bamboo comes from, and the strength of the bamboo comes from the nodes. It is the fiber of the bamboo that is placed along the cross section of the bamboo that makes it so durable and so strong against the loads. So why bamboo? Because bamboo is recyclable. Other than concrete structures, like once you have built a concrete structure, it is almost impossible to dismantle the structure and recreate it on the other side. But in the case of bamboo, you can always dismantle the bamboo and recreate the structure on the other side, or you can also use the members of the structure in other projects. Flexibility, it is so flexible that in the forest, when the storm comes, the bamboo swings with the winds, and when the storm ceases, it regains its upright position. Fast growing material, we know that bamboo can grow up to 3 feet in a single day. This is, you can see the bamboo growing. Environmental friendly, stronger than steel, stronger than concrete, In some cases, bamboo is stronger than steel. The tensile strength of steel is 23,000 psi, while bamboo's tensile strength is 28,000 psi. Money saving because it is so cost effective, and alternate to wood because it is 2-3 times more durable and more cost effective than wood. So you can also
फास्ट ग्रोइंग पे एक फन फैक्ट कि इन एंशिएंट टाइम्स जब किसी को सज़ा देनी होती थी तो दे यूज टू टाई देम टू बैम्बू फील्ड्स एंड विद इन अ डे द बैम्बू यूज टू ग्रो थ्रू द पर्सन एंड सो देयर यू गो. So harvesting age. Now harvesting age क्या होती है किसी material की when it's fit to be used for construction. ठीक है? Wood has a harvesting age when you can cut a tree and then you can use it for construction purposes. ठीक है? So basically when you're talking about using great quality wood for your furniture, for your doors, for other projects. ठीक है? And there are people who tell you कोई बात नहीं काटा है तो replant कर देंगे. Right? So I think you need to know how much time that particular tree will take to grow back, right? So for bamboo, it is 3 to 4 years. That's the harvesting age of bamboo, which is amazing. If you're thinking 3 to 4 years is such a long time, okay, fine. Let's see for pine. Yeah, 30 years. When you cut a pine tree, it will take 30 years to grow back. And with oak, yeah, if you cut an oak tree, you probably won't be alive to see it grow back. So those are the astounding harvesting age factors. And now comes our initiative. As I told you before, Archlore, our slogan, think bamboo. After graduation in 2018, we started this venture, but basically we and bamboo go way back. As students, we started to work with this material, and that is what eventually left an impression on us, and we wanted to continue down that path. In fact, I was very happy to see many projects using bamboo, the ones that were presented here. So hopefully some of you will continue on that path, and if you don't, and you need to get it constructed, give us a call. So basically, we went to work for the Heritage Foundation, and in Tando LIR, and we built, that was the first time that we saw bamboo being used for construction. And we built a school over there, Madam Lari's flat-proof structures, I think we're all aware of them. So we as students went there back in 2015. Then we came back to Karachi and had another workshop for us. Yeah, that's me and that's Warris. And we built another small bamboo structure in our campus, in the Heritage Building at NAD University Department of Architecture and Planning. So this was the small structure that we built just in front of our cafeteria. And yeah, and that's what ultimately led us to founding Archlore. We were also lucky enough to have traveled a lot during our course of 5 years at architecture school. And when we went to the northern areas of Pakistan, we were given a task. Go and meet the people, figure out what materials they use, and kind of learn about the relationship that architecture has with climate, right? And we did that, and we interacted firsthand with the people, and we weren't actually looking for what we got. We went there and people told us stories about how they would, how it did not used to snow as much, but now it does, that the ground floor of their houses and their doors are blocked by snow, right? And they keep their animals there, and then in the winter time, they go and use the first floor. So what happens is, the animals are unable to come out all the course of the winter season. And when they do, during summer, वो कहते थे वो बिदक जाते थे क्योंकि उन्होंने पता नहीं कितने महीनों से लाइट नहीं देखी होती थी. Then there's a girl who told us that this is the window, I sit here and I just keep looking outside for the snow to melt. It didn't happen before, but now it does. These people did not know what was happening. They didn't have a term to put to the phenomena कि climate change हो रहा है. No. But something was wrong, and we knew what was wrong. So basically, climate action का एक agenda है to achieve the bigger goal. We've divided it into smaller targets. Number one, awareness and involvement of youth. Why? Because it's their future that we have to protect. You tell an 80-year-old man that आपका future बहुत jeopardy में है, 20 साल में अगले क्या होगा वो कहेगा ठीक है मैंने थोड़ी होना है यहाँ पे. लेकिन हाँ, इफ़ यू टेल अ 20-year-old कि अगले 20 years में you know there's gonna be catastrophe, that person will care. And so you need to target these people, ठीक है, the young people. And then modernizing the material. Like I said, it's so much more than the poor man's timber. ठीक है, bamboo does not have to look poor. Bamboo can look rich and still, you know, be affordable. Bamboo can look chic yet still be affordable. Bamboo can be resilient yet be affordable. So, and then finally, helping the masses in community building. Okay? This is I think the point that has perhaps that is most important to us, that is most dear to us, because that's how we first-hand see the effects of the work we do when it helps people. Okay? We get out of that bubble where the beautiful field of architecture is limited to an elite few, and we get to see how we can extend its perks to the people that deserve it. Okay. Next. So awareness and involvement of the youth, we hold regular workshops and lectures. In fact, that's how we started. So we go to different schools, colleges, universities, and we hold this workshop series called Building a Bamboo Chair, where you know, children, teenagers, they are given a lecture. We tell them about architecture, about the construction industry, which by the way is responsible for 50% of global greenhouse gas emissions. So we are responsible. Okay? So we tell it to them, and then we tell them the importance of bamboo, and no matter what they choose to become in life, they need to be aware that their future is in jeopardy because nobody talks about it on the TV. Nidai Yasser doesn't talk about it, right? And they need to know what they can do. So this is, for example, this was a college that we went to, and these girls, there were I think 15 girls who built this canopy, zero labor force. And the college needed the canopy because they needed a shaded place, and the girls built it. All of these. Zero labor force, climbed up, used hammers, right? And then these chairs, this is at CAS, which is not very far away from here. They built these bamboo chairs. Then at Frobel Academy, these are just few examples. And then again, over here as well, zero labor force. And each of them, I was surprised to see how hands-on they could be, because these days, it's a very hopeless situation when you know, hammer जो है वो कोने से पकड़ते हैं और 100 को देख के चीख मारते हैं, ये भी देखा है मैंने. लेकिन there are people जब उनके हाथ में आ जाए तो हालांकि they have no prior experience, but they're so good at it, and they should be, right? Because these are survival skills and we all need them. We're all going to need them. So these are just a bunch of images from our past workshops.
Students.
Yes, I'm sorry?
These are the primary students.
Yeah, look at their
4
sizes.
class, 5 class, 6 class.
Yeah, very little. And if they can do it, I think anyone can. Modernizing the material, right? As I told you, it doesn't have to look ugly. So we try to present it in a chic light, in a contemporary way. Whether it be rooftop gardens, say a person can only relate to something as being chic when it's presented to them in a way which they have not seen before, right? Or perhaps something that they have seen before, but it's made in a material that they never thought could be possible, right? So these rooftop gardens, we started building with these canopies and furniture that we've not seen in bamboo, or these swings that are very popular, get a lot of orders for these bamboo swings, right? Or these patio chairs and table, okay, in front of a fountain, another rooftop garden, and then a bamboo bed. और नहीं, ये टूटता नहीं है. जिसके जहन में ख्याल आ रहा है, दिलों में ये बातें आ रही हैं, मैं बता रही हूँ, ठीक है? So and then pavilions, right? Installations and pavilions. Thank you. Thank
This
you.
was in Mehran University, by the way.
Yes, I think some of you,
You guys
if
remember.
you've seen it. Okay, great. Proof.
And
Yeah. So this was at Lahuti Melo. Can you move it
Yeah,
back? Yeah, this was at Lahuti Melo. Yeah, people were climbing it, and they were coming and saying, "ये बांस में बने हैं? कैसे?" आके देख रहे हैं, साइड से देख रहे हैं. हालांकि हालांकि क्या क्या हो सकता है बांस में, लेकिन हमने देखा नहीं है बस, और हम देखना भी नहीं चाहते. ठीक है, इंटरनेट गूगल ही खोल लें तो क्या क्या नज़र आ जाता है. सही है. एंड देन दिस वाज बिल्ट एट लम्स. दिस इज़ अनदर इंस्टॉलेशन. यू कैन सी द स्केल. ये बिल्डिंग है पीछे, डबल स्टोरी, एंड यू कैन सी द स्केल. एंड दिस इज़ जस्ट आज एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग विद द मटीरियल, गोइंग क्रेजी. Just we love this material. We love working in this material, and I think if you're passionate about something, it works out. So, and this is built in Karachi University Department of Physics. This is called Bamblook. We collaborated with a Swedish architecture firm on this, and with Coles as well. So this was basically donated to the physics department. This is a sitting space and sort of shows how bamboo can be bent and used. A bunch of people. And then jungle gems. So jungle gems are very dear to me for one other reason. When I was seeing your thesis work and everything, it kind of reminded me of the time when I was doing my thesis. One of my supervisors is here today as well, Madam Rabila Junejo. So yeah, she gave me a tough time. Anyway, I designed a jungle gym which was a school as well, right? So that's why I always like making jungle gyms and these play structures, because I think research proves as well that play is the best form of learning, right? So this was a linear structure, linear geometry. Slow down. कौन चला रहा है ये? अच्छा. So the basic task over here was that there was this old tree, very old tree on site, and you can see the peculiar shape of the tree. Okay, how its bark is just sort of falling down to the ground, right? And the task or the challenge was how do you incorporate it into the structure? ठीक है? और अगर कोई ये सोच रहा है कि काट दो, आसान ही है, ज़िंदगी आसान है, तो आप आर्किटेक्ट नहीं है, right? Because as an architect, what you are responsible for is to see कि ये natural features exist करते हैं on site, and I'm going to respect them, and my architecture should be a part of them, right? And should embrace them, and that's what we tried to do. We created a platform around this tree, but the interesting thing is, look how the branches sort of come out of the platform. We could have cut a few branches, right? कि platform तो clear हो जाए, but rather we decided that no, it should appear as though it's appearing and then disappearing again from perhaps a body of water. Look at it. Look at the waves over here. Acha, can I? ठीक है? And the back as well, like this. ठीक है? Next. Another jungle gem. So over here we made this beautiful ramp, a circular structure. Then we tried a slide, a bamboo slide, right? You've never experienced one of those before. So we had fun making it, took a few slides ourselves, were successful. The kids were absolutely happy. Oh, I'm standing there in one of the pictures. Anyway, so this is the ramp, you see. You climb up and you go, and this is bamboo that is bent. सीधे स्ट्रक्चर्स तो फिर भी दिखते हैं, ऑर्गेनिक इतना नहीं दिखते हमारे कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, राइट? सो वी ऑलवेज ट्राई टू incorporate that, try to show that bamboo can be bent. In fact, that's one of its most supreme qualities, right? So why not showcase it? Next. Sliding down, climbing up, again some slides. Okay. Now this was challenging in the sense that we had to accommodate 100 people in the structure, right? And as you can see, this is an elevated structure, and on top approximately 80 people can sit. So it needed to bear the load, and that's when the technicality came in, right? Okay, it should be stable, right? And basically it was only operational during night time, so we did not have to have like a proper roof, but just something to to sort of give the idea that this is the roofing plane. Syed?
Diffuse light.
Yes, and kind of it had diffuse light coming in, and for the ground floor we basically, instead of giving conventional table chair, we hung swings, right? Bamboo swings, and the entire furniture was made out of bamboo as well. Okay? And then finally, helping the masses, resilient and affordable architecture. Now, I was talking about my thesis earlier, and this, by the way, is also a school, and this is the project for which we got nominated for the Aga Khan Award, which was a great privilege. Thank you. Thank you. The challenge over here was that there was not a single shaded space, okay? And on the limited space we did have, the client needed 3 classrooms, okay? And the client was an NGO. So what did we come up with? What if we raise these classrooms to make space underneath where the children can sit for lunchtime? Is that right? And that's what we did. We raised these and then underneath them put on benches. The access was from behind, right? And then we connected it all with a bridge, because come on, everyone loves a bridge, right? And to add that playful element in the entire school. Now the playful element has also been achieved via colors, because architecture is a whole package, right? And then someone sitting on the bench, then over here, again the bridge. They also sat on windows, and then this, because the user finds ways that to use your architecture that you yourself have not imagined. And this became monkey bars for them, and then load testing on the bridge. So we passed. Okay? Okay, there was one other thing that was very interesting about the school was that they told us that they will have to relocate. No? They might have to relocate, and so we'll need to make the school in smaller panels so that we can disassemble it, right? And that's what we did. If you look at the wall system over there, it's made into smaller panels and then attached to a mainframe. Okay? Next. And then finally, Ashabi School Makli, which is a school/multi-purpose space in Makli, interior Sindh. The form was inspired by the age-old act of imparting knowledge sitting under a tree. That's how the teachers use. And there it is. This is the aerial view of the school. The circular form was obviously derived because of the vastness of the landscape that we were building this on, because it was open on all sides and we wanted it to be that way, accessible from all sides, because it was built for the Shikari community of Makli. The Shikari community is one of our resilient communities, a flood affected community based mostly on women and children. And they're known as the Shikaris because they breed hunting dogs, and these dogs hunt small animals for them which they eat and sell. So it was built for them, and then again when we went to visit, we saw that the people there were sitting in the shade cast by their makeshift houses, which we can't call houses, right? So they would just gather there, and no 4 or 5 people could sit together. Why? Because there wasn't enough shade. Okay? And one of my teachers used to say कि दिन में लोगों को जमा करना है तो shade लगा दो, रात में जमा करना है तो light लगा दो. So we adopted that approach and made the circular shaded space, double-story space for them.
Okay, so one thing to mention is the highest point in this structure is at 30 feet. It is the diameter of the structure is almost 70 feet, and it is overall 6,500 square feet. The first floor is at 10 feet, and the second floor is around at 12 feet.
Okay. So here it is. Acha, this is in. Thank you. Do remember that this area is flood prone, right? So you see, hence you see the stone wall that's built around it, and there is no way to. There is no opening for a staircase, but instead you go over it, and that is done so that in terms of a catastrophe, the water isn't able to come inside, and so that the people can also gather underneath it, right? In times of a catastrophe. And then you can see this very organic setup, because that's their way of living. And we weren't going to come and say, we, the mighty architects, are going to tell you how to live. Instead, we would say, we embrace your lifestyle, and here is something for you to continue doing that, rather in a more sophisticated way. Right? You have shade, right? So this is just a very organic, on one side there's a circular stairway, on the other side there's a ramp or a slide. This is the upper floor, a skylight in the center, the purpose being because the structure has depth, as Warris mentioned, so it needed to be lit at all times. 12 बजे का सूरज जब ऊपर होगा तो अंधेरा हो सकता है अंदर, hence the skylight. And then this is the outer area just alongside the staircase. And these are the beautiful children of the Shikari tribe who study there. We also run this school, by the way, so we're constantly in contact with them. This is us when we got to, when we visited the school on some occasion anyway. So you can see that in the background as well. We've also been doing flood shelter work. We've done it with Intbao, Pakistan, where we distributed 1,000 shelters across Sindh and Balochistan. And then with Pakistan Red Crescent, where about 620 shelters were distributed throughout Sindh. Over here, you can see, then again, we made these in panels which were transported and then which were to be put together by the people. Mother Teresa once famously said that I cannot change the world alone, but I can cast a stone to the waters, and that will create many ripples, right? So in terms of our accomplishments, our work has been covered by digital and print media, not in the sense that that is an award, but in the sense that people are talking about it, and that is important. People are talking about the material we use. We have been recognized by INBAR, which is the International Bamboo and Rattan Organization. Our workshop series has gained popularity among the general public, who have shown a much greater interest in the material. Jinko kabhi nahi pata tha, now they want to work with it. It has opened doors for any NGOs who wish to pursue this affordable form of construction to meet their needs. अब सिर्फ फ्लड शेल्टर नहीं, अब कोई भी बिल्डिंग बन सकती है बैम्बू में, और अगर आपको बनवानी है तो हम हैं बनाने के लिए, और इंशाल्लाह और लोग भी आएंगे, ठीक है? And then finally, it has become a source of discussion and debate on eco-friendly architecture and its significance in our local contests. They say you can love me, you can hate me, but you cannot ignore me. So you can not like our work, but it still will be a topic of discussion, and that is important. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, there is no ecological architecture, no intelligent architecture, and no sustainable architecture. There is only good architecture. Thank you for being so patient. Thank you.
How do I begin? Incredible. And I was also astonished to see some of the structures and how beautifully you guys have used the organic form. So guys, round of applause for them once again. So we would like to take some questions, but 4 questions, because we have to start with our webinar series as well, and we have to join the Zoom link. So any questions, guys?
इस दफ़ा ह्यूमन से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है। अच्छा, जंगल जिम जो आपने किड्स प्ले एरिया का बनाया था बिमोस के थ्रू, तो उसमें ये क्वेश्चन है कि बच्चों की आदत होती है कि वो टैग लगा के खड़े होते हैं, तो बैम्बोज जब गीले होते हैं तो वो कलर उनमें कलर निकलता है, तो वो स्किन को और कपड़ों में लग जाता है, तो इसका सोल्यूशन क्या है?
इसका सोल्यूशन ये है कि सबसे पहले कलर उतार दो उस पे से।
सो बेसिकली हम उसका कलर रिमूव करते हैं। सबसे पहले जो कच्चा कलर बांस पे लगा होता है उसको रिमूव किया जाता है, उसको प्रॉपर जो है वो आप वेदर कोटिंग टू द मटेरियल, उसको बिल्कुल वैसा ही रफ़ इस्तेमाल नहीं करते जैसे आप अर्बन फ्लड शेल्टर्स के अंदर रफ़ यूज़ कर रहे होते हैं ना, रॉ फॉर्म में उसको प्रॉपर जो है वो मटेरियल के तौर पे यूज़ किया जाता है।
और वो जो रेड ऑक्साइड उस पर लगाते हैं वो वेंडर्स लगाते हैं उसको सन से प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए बेसिकली, क्योंकि बैम्बू विदाउट एनी कोटिंग इफ एक्सपोज टू द सन और द एटमॉस्फेयर उसको नुकसान पहुंचता है। तो ये वेंडर्स ने अपनी एक लोकल टेक्निक निकाली है कि वो रेड ऑक्साइड लाल वाला कलर लेकर उसमें मल देते हैं, और हमारे लिए वो फिर अजाब हो जाता है इवेंचुअली, बिकॉज वी हैव टू रिमूव इट। थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
Not expecting.
Okay. Well, it's a layman's question. We know that bamboo is a plant, like wood is a plant. There are different types of woods. Some are suitable for construction, some are suitable for other things with their own qualities and everything. Same is the case with bamboo. Even in Far East, where bamboo is much more used than in our country and grown in a greater variety, there are only a few which are construction ready and are suitable for construction. So my question in terms of Pakistan is that do we have that quality of bamboo growing here? If so, where is that bamboo? I hope we are not importing it. And what is the type of bamboo that is okay for construction? And I'm sure we are facing a challenge since it is not an agricultural product, which is produced in large numbers. So how do you see that becoming a major construction material as we move on?
So we'll both take this question one by one, okay? For your first question, which was the typology of bamboo. Okay, first of all, it's very important to know bamboo is a grass. Okay, it's a grass, it's known as tall grass. Okay? So first there's that, and secondly, yes, we're not importing bamboo at all, because when we talk about vernacular architecture, I think the number one most important thing is to consider is that the material is locally sourced, so it is there. Number three, yes, there are species over here that are specifically there for construction. There are two, namely Bambusa vulgaris and Bambusa bamboo, and there are local ways to figure out which they are. There's a local method where you see the cross section. Chapta hai to aisa hoga, goal hai to it means ye wo wala bamboo hai. So that's obviously been there because we are not new in the bamboo sector, so that's common information amongst the vendors and people who work with the material. So yes, it's there. We're not importing it. In fact, we're exporting bamboo to the UAE. It's called golden bamboo, जो हम बेच रहे हैं. और जिन इलाकों में है वो वारिस कवर कर.
We imported bamboo from Malaysia as well. लेकिन मलेशिया का बैम्बू यहाँ इंपोर्ट करने के बाद वो सरवाइव नहीं किया, तो हमने बंगाल से भी इंपोर्ट किया और इंडिया से भी इंपोर्ट किया हुआ है. यहाँ पर कुछ जो है वो इंडिजिनियस भी है, पहले से मौजूद था बैम्बू, और हमने कुछ बांग्लादेश और इंडिया का बैम्बू भी यहाँ पर उगाया है. तो पाकिस्तान में भी 15 से ज़ायद इकसाम हैं बैम्बू की जो कि ग्रो करती हैं, लेकिन जिनमें से 2-3 बैम्बूज़ की टाइप ऐसी हैं जो कि कंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए वायबल हैं. तो बीइंग इन द फील्ड इतने अरसे के बाद आपको अंदाज़ा हो जाता है कि विच बैम्बू इज़ सूटेबल फॉर द कंस्ट्रक्शन. और बैम्बू वैसे भी मार्केट के अंदर, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान के अंदर भी पिछले 70 साल से बैम्बू यूज़ हो रहा है इन डिफरेंट फॉर डिफरेंट पर्पस, लाइक के लैडर में यूज़ होता है, पोल्ट्री फार्म में शेड्स के लिए यूज़ होता है. तो दे ऑल्सो नो कि कौन सा बैम्बू है जो कि जिसकी स्ट्रेंथ है जो कि बिल्डिंग के लिए सूटेबल है, तो वो इसके फोल्डिंग के लिए यूज़ कर रहे हैं बैम्बू को. तो वो द बैम्बू दैट इज़ यूज इन इसके फोल्डिंग इज़ ऑल्सो वायबल फॉर द कंस्ट्रक्शन. बट यू नीड टू बी वेरी स्पेसिफिक एंड टेक्निकल नॉलेज आपकी बहुत होनी चाहिए कि आप उसको इतने बड़े स्ट्रक्चर्स में कैसे यूज़ करेंगे. तो वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग बहुत ज़रूरी है. वो उसका आपके पास यहाँ रिसर्च नहीं है, वो आप साथ साथ ही सीख रहे हैं उसके अंदर कि बैम्बू के अंदर जब आप जैसे हमारे पास कंक्रीट की नॉलेज है कि हाउ फॉर यू विल हैव टू गिव अ कॉलम, कि कितना आपको लेंथ के बाद आपको कॉलम देना है या बीम कितना होना चाहिए, उसकी डेप्थ कितनी होनी चाहिए. बैम्बू के अंदर ये चीज़ें आप साथ साथ लर्न करते हैं कि बैम्बू में किस तरीके से होंगी, क्योंकि लोकल कॉन्टेक्स्ट के अंदर जो बैम्बू इस्तेमाल हो रहा है उस बैम्बू की रिसर्च हमारे पास वैसे मौजूद नहीं है पहले से.
And then finally, to your last part, that's a very good question. In fact, abhi kuch din pehle hi INBAR, which I mentioned, the International Bamboo and Rattan Organization, have launched an app here for farmers and the agricultural sector in Pakistan, jahan they can map their bamboo forests and farms. And exactly कि कौन सी species हमने लगाई हुई है, कितने hectares पे है, उसकी क्या किन purposes के लिए use हो सकती है. So INBAR has finally entered the game, where they're actually helping the agriculture and the forestry sector to formally regulate this materials production. So I think the future is bright in this sense. Anything else? Thank you.
Okay, hi. Hello. Very good to see you both here. We were actually having a discussion at any day once during the lunch time on this, and I wanted to ask on someone's behalf that the concern is नए graduates हैं, field में जा रहे हैं, पैसा भी कमाना है वगैरह वगैरह. So how, one thing is how monetarily viable is this? That's one thing. Is it rewarding enough? Because बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं चाहिए, वो नहीं है, but is it enough? Does it make ends meet? Second is, are you, the learnings that you have garnered and nurtured so far, जो आपने gain की हैं, are you thinking to publish them somewhere or something? Because it is important to have that knowledge in black and white and share with everyone, because you're as Warris said कि हम कर रहे हैं और सीख रहे हैं, तो कर रहे हैं और सीख रहे हैं. तो आमिर साहब को भी सवाल इसी नौयत का था. तो अगर आप लोग पब्लिश करेंगे, मैगजीन्स में करें, कहीं भी करें, दैट इंफॉर्मेशन विल बिकम मोर for everybody. So these are two things that I wanted to ask.
For your second question, yes, the ultimate goal. पहले हम खूब पैसा कमा लें, अमीर हो जाएं, फिर उसके बाद नहीं, that is the goal कि अगर हमने एक नई चीज़ शुरू की है तो obviously share it with the world, क्योंकि ultimate goal जब काम करने का as per our claim यही है तो होना भी यही चाहिए.
Which we are facing right now.
हाँ.
कि वो आगे future generations के लिए वो easy होना चाहिए.
Easy
और
होना
it should
चाहिए.
be shared ना.
Should be shared. And that's how we have learned as well ना. जो हमें research papers मिले हैं उससे हमने भी बहुत चीज़ें सीखी हैं, तो I think it's unfair to say कि नहीं हम नहीं किसी को बताएंगे. So I think that's not the problem. As for your first question of the ये monetary वाली चीज़, like any new business, yeah, this is by the way a social business, ठीक है, and I'm not afraid to call it that. This is a social business. This startup works on a business model because हमें ज़िंदा तो रहना है, पैसे भी कमाने हैं, तो अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह this is viable. But if you're starting this, do not expect it to be giving you money the next day. It's not going to do that. In fact, it will rob you dry for like the first year. Many clients will not give you money. They will get the work done, then not give you money. Then some of them will say कि 99% project done and then disappear. And then many other things among that. ठीक है, फिर जब आप खुद सीख रहे हैं तो वो pressure on site उस चीज़ का, and then फिर काम को timely done करना. तो आई थिंक ये तो जो भी बिज़नेस करता है आई थिंक उसको पता होता है कि ब्रेक इवन करने ही में कुछ टाइम लगता है और फिर देन द बिजनेस स्टार्ट्स टू पे यू ऑफ. बट अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह दैट फेज हैज़ बिगन फॉर अस नाउ. दैट फेज हैज़ बिगन फॉर अस नाउ. एंड क्योंकि कोई भी नई चीज़ होती है तो उसमें ये रिस्क होता है, और अगर आप ये रिस्क नहीं लेंगे तो आप कोई नई चीज़ नहीं कर सकते मेरा ख्याल से.
एंड वन थिंग इज़ गारंटीड दैट दिस मटीरियल इज़ नॉट न्यू. दिस मटीरियल हैज़ बीन हेयर सिंस एजेस. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि ये मटेरियल ही नया है और जिसके अंदर हम एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहे हैं और अगले 10 साल में जाके हम कहेंगे कि जी ये तो हुआ ही नहीं, तो हम कुछ और शुरू कर देंगे. ये मटेरियल बहुत अरसे से यूज़ हो रहा है, बहुत से दुनिया के कल्चर्स का ये हिस्सा है. जैसे जापानीज़ कल्चर के अंदर तो ये बहुत ज़्यादा समाया हुआ है बैम्बू. तो देयर इज़ अ सेइंग इन जापान विच सेज इट इज़ बेटर टू हैव अ मील विदाउट मीट दैन टू हैव अ हाउस विदाउट बैम्बू. तो ये बैम्बू सर्वाइव किया है और ये मटेरियल बहुत पुराना है. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप इसमें काम कर रहे हैं तो आप आगे चल के कहेंगे कि जी ये तो चला ही नहीं बैम्बू, तो हम शिफ्ट हो जाते हैं वापस कन्वेंशनल अपनी अप्रोच की तरफ.
कॉन्टिनेंट ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया बैम्बू राफ्ट्स पर डिस्कवर हुआ था. अर्लीस्ट ब्रिजेस वर मेड इन बैम्बू. तो बैम्बू हैज़ द ओल्डेस्ट सर्वाइविंग हाउस इन मेड इन बैम्बू इज 200 years old. So all these things are there. So we have the faith in the material. बस अपने ऊपर कर रहे हैं मेहनत. So thank you. Anything else?
Your teacher should be proud of you for in a few years making such a good presentation. I think you have developed a confidence very fast, and I think we should commend you on that. Let's give them a hand. You are kind of taking a new path and lighting a fire that is not going to be easy for you. But let me tell you, I'm going to follow Amir's question. I have read a study, published study, that there are about 1200 varieties of bamboo. Okay? But unfortunately in Pakistan only 4 types are more prevalent. Okay, so now in the tropics this is very natural. Okay, it's a material in a climate like ours. To you can do your nice little structures, whatever, but getting into the main industry or whatever, maybe a bit difficult. Bamboo in Hong Kong, they are building 60-70 story buildings, not in bamboo, but the scaffolding for 60-70 story buildings is in bamboo. So it's still not the real thing. Why? Because it's simply a natural degradable material that has a problem with life, it has a problem with कीड़ा, okay, and that is something जो हमारी desert type atmosphere में हम ये promote कर रहे हैं. Is this really, I'm not saying don't build it, but getting it as a mainstream. You know, you can always have small side elements in architecture. Will this remain on the side? Because you're right, this statement is very good, very good, you know, this thing. But I really want to question you, I'm not saying leave anything, you are on a very good path, you are trying to do something that is, but technology, you must use technology to get these. You know, you are now getting even in Far East and Malaysia, you are getting bamboo fiber se boards bana rahe hain. Okay, so it's not the direct use of a simple bamboo anymore. Okay, and that's also because it's a good material, it grows fast, it's a good thing. But having said all this, आप एक चीज़ याद रखें, sorry, एक चीज़ याद रखें कि ट्रीज़ का आपने टाइम पीरियड दिया ग्रो करने का, ठीक है ना? Bamboo grows very fast, no question about it. But you know, in the United States now, in Oregon, where Shahab Ghani has gone to study, there they have exceeded the planting rate and the cutting rate. 60 year की जो cycle है, 80 year के cycle है, they have beat that cycle. Now they don't have to worry about shortage anymore or waiting anymore. Always wood is ready. तो हम लोग ये चीज़ हम ये नहीं देख रहे, हम सिर्फ कह रहे हैं हम गरीब लोग हैं, गरीब लोग हैं. अरे गुर्बत से कभी तो निकले ना आप लोग, हैं? I'm not saying you don't use this material. आप गुर्बत के लिए वहीं का वहीं बना रहे हैं आप solutions. That what bothers me. That's the only thing that bothers me. इसलिए मैं आपसे ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि आप ये जो कर रहे हैं बहुत खूबसूरत है, लग रहा है, इनकी परमानेंस या लाइफ में आपको काम करना पड़ेगा.
बिल्कुल.
थैंक यू.
थैंक यू सो मच. नो प्रॉब्लम. आपने इतना सोचा इसके ऊपर, वरना लोग सुनते भी नहीं हैं, तो थैंक यू फॉर दैट. आपने एक बात कही कि आपको ये आप का ये कंसर्न है, एंड में आपने कहा था कि ये पुअर में ही फंसे हुए हैं हम, राइट? तो हम भी यही बात कह रहे हैं एक्चुअली कि मेरे ख्याल में कोई भी मटेरियल पुअर या अमीर नहीं होता, राइट? इट्स हाउ वी यूज़ इट दैट रिफ्लेक्ट्स अपॉन इट, राइट? कि पुअरली, तो बेसिकली हमारा वर्क मोटो ही यही है कि इस मटेरियल को जो कि इतना ज़्यादा अब गरीबी से मुंसलिक हो चुका है कि हम इसको गरीबों की तरह ही इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, उसे हम अमीरों की तरह कैसे इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल इन वियतनाम बैम्बू, और ये गोल बैम्बू से ही इन्होंने 6 स्टोरी होटल बनाया हुआ है. 6 स्टोरीज नो स्मॉल थिंग, राइट? अगर हम वो चीज़ यहाँ अचीव कर सकें तो उसमें क्या बुराई है, राइट? जहाँ तक आपकी परमानेंस और लाइफ वाली बात है, हर चीज़ के लिए अब जवाब मौजूद है, अब ट्रीटमेंट भी मौजूद है. अच्छा, उन्होंने भी ये सवाल पूछा था जो कि मिस हो गई कि कौन सी जगहों पर ग्रो हो रहा है. तो ये पतोकी है, इसमें झंग है, सरगोधा है, जहाँ पर ये ग्रो हो रहा है. और अब एफिशिएंट फॉरेस्ट मैनेजमेंट भी शुरू हो गई है. वो भी पॉइंट बिल्कुल ठीक है, होनी चाहिए. एफिशिएंट फॉरेस्ट मैनेजमेंट सब कुछ उसी पर रिलाय कर रहा है. तो कीड़े का भी हल है अब, जो कि हम कर रहे हैं. दूसरी सबसे अहम बात ये टेक्नोलॉजी, आपने जो कहा, हम कील ठोक के कंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं करते, राइट? बिकॉज बैम्बू विल इवेंचुअली डिग्रेड दैट वे. सो आप कोई भी रिसर्च पढ़ लें, उसमें हमेशा एक चीज़ लिखी हुई होती है, एफिशिएंट and durable installation is key to how long this bamboo structure of yours will last. And there are multiple small tricks. For example, structural या foundation members को किस तरह हमेशा साए में रखना है, या किस तरह नट बोल्ट टेक्नोलॉजी का efficient यूज़ करना है, या फिर किस तरीके से बैम्बू की कोटिंग करनी है और उसे यूज़ से पहले इस्तेमाल करना है, और इवन पिकिंग के वक्त देखना है उसको, एक एक बैम्बू को. तो दैट इज़ एक्सट्रीमली टाइम कंज्यूमिंग. बट अगर इफ़ यू आर चेकिंग ऑल दोज बॉक्सेस, देन हम 4 साल से काम कर रहे हैं, एंड वी बिल्ट structures that are 4 years old now, and we go and visit them. That's something that we have made a practice. क्योंकि फ़ायदा नहीं है.
Archlore, while you're on stage, I'd like to invite Shahab Saab, architect Shahab Saab, to give them a memento of appreciation from us. Nafeel Qureshi, Ilsa Ahmed, Nihal Ahmed, and Mohammad Bilal. Thank you.